Okay, so today I wanted to talk about some children's literature that I hate, that I think is weird and toxic. So, first up is this book, The Rainbow Fish. This is an extremely popular book. I even have a little stuffed animal of it, as you saw. This is a book I grew up with, and whenever I was a kid, it was like really cute. I think the highlight of this book really is the fact that it's got foil on it and it's shiny, and what kid did not like the shiny foils? As an adult doing a reread of it, it's a very strange story. So you've got a fish. Here, let me put this book down so that I can show you. Okay, so you've got a fish who is presented as kind of full of themselves, and then this fish wants one of his beautiful shiny scales, which are part of his body, and he says no, he doesn't want to share a part of his body. And then all the other fish reject him because he was not willing to share, or in other words, give a piece of his body to this other fish. So then Rainbow Fish has no friends, and he's super bummed out, and he goes and visits an octopus, and the octopus says, look, here's the octopus. It says that the waves have told the octopus his story, and he needs to give a glittering scale to each of the other fish. You will no longer be the most beautiful fish in the sea, but you will discover how to be happy. So Rainbow Fish takes his advice. He gives a piece of his body to all the other fish, and then, look, here he is, giving his body away. And then, now, all the other fish are willing to be Rainbow Fish's friend because he shared his body with them. And so their friendship is really based on what they can receive from Rainbow Fish physically. And they would not be Rainbow Fish's friend otherwise. I get it that it's supposed to be about sharing, but maybe there's a way that we can teach children about sharing that doesn't have to do with their physically. Kids do not need to share their body. Nobody needs to share their body with anyone. And if you won't be friends with somebody unless they share their body with you, those are the kind of friends to avoid. So I read that book. I know about that book. And if I actually read that book now, I change the story. I change the words. I don't actually read the real words. I just make it up to make it about something different. I was talking to somebody else about this book, and they thought the same thing. Another mom. They thought the same thing. That it's a really weird way to share a message about sharing. I don't think it's a good message for kids, that if people won't hang out with you because you won't physically give them what they want, then you should just give in and give them what they want, so that way you can have friends. So then I was reading this book. This is not a book that I purchased. This is a book that I just happened to be given, and I was reading it, and it's about a little hedgehog named Maiko, and all he wants to do is sit in his garden and look at the animals and the flowers and all that kind of stuff. And his grandfather comes over to him and is upset because he's saying that he's being lazy and that he needs to go out, and he says, you should He said, you're wasting your time squatting in the grass, sniffing the flowers. You should take advantage of your youth to accomplish something important so you will be happy. So Miko the hedgehog is like, ugh, okay, I was happy where I was, just sitting in the grass, but since you're telling me I need to go out, he goes out. He meets a tortoise. The tortoise is trying to be fast. He wants to be the fastest tortoise in the world, then he'll be happy. Miko tries to run a little bit, and he's like, ugh, this is not a fun way of running. I don't like trying to be fast. Then he meets a hare that's trying to go to school to be smart, and the hare is not really learning very much, but is hoping that she can learn a lot and then be happy by being the smartest hare. Then there's a badger who wants to be strong. And once again, Miko is feeling like, yeah, this is all overrated. This is not fun. Like, you guys aren't having fun. And as I was reading this, I thought, this is kind of a weird thing to teach children, that like that working hard at something that you aspire to is not fun and not worth the effort. And then I noticed something. Wait a minute, who's the author of this? The same guy who wrote the Rainbow Fish. Marcus Pfister, is that how you pronounce it? Marcus Pfister, if you're watching this video, can you explain to me why this is the way you teach morals? It's very odd. So then he, Miko thinks to himself, he says, this is a quote from the book. I don't want to be the strongest, he thought, or the cleverest, or the fastest. Why make myself miserable just to be happy in the future when I'm already happy? I like the way I am now, here at home in my garden. So he goes back to his garden, and in order to wrap this plot into something that could kind of make sense, his grandfather is feeling sick, and he's like, oh, I know some flowers that I can make a tea that will help your cough. And then his grandfather's like, oh, you're smarter than I realized. Which is fine. And I don't have a problem with people knowing about animals and birds and plants. In fact, I myself like to learn about those things a little bit. However, I don't think we need to dunk on people who want to be fast or strong or scholastic in order to prove our point that it's okay to have interests outside of those things, even if it's not what other people are interested in. You tell me, is there any children's literature that you think is really weird? What do you think about Marcus Pfister? Have you read these books? Do you love these books? Let me know, because I don't think that they're good messages for children. Although the Rainbow Fish is very cute, and I understand why it kicked off and was successful, because, you know, okay, these books are both by the same author. One of them was very successful. One of them I bet you've never heard of. And do you know what the difference is? One has got foil that is glittery when you do the book like this, which is very exciting for children, and one doesn't have that. And the one that doesn't have that, I doubt you've ever heard of. And the one that does have that, they still are selling stuffed animals and all this stuff in Barnes & Noble years and years and years later. How old is this book? Let's see. Okay. What year did this come out? $1992. Okay, and this says Marcus Pfister is from Switzerland, which is interesting because there's another Swiss author who's one of my favorite authors for children's literature, Elsa Beskow. I'm pretty sure she's Swiss. She might be Swedish. Okay. 1992. So So that's 34 years old. 34 years, and we're still reading this weird book about the fish. But I really do think that it's because of the foils on the page. So you tell me what you think, and if there's other, if you love it, tell me why it's not weird to you. If there's other literature for kids that you think is weird, let me know. I hope you guys are having a good day.